Okay. So yeah, so this is now currently we are going to learn SQL Server. SQL Server, the version is 2014, which I'm going to use. And most of any versions, I mean, it doesn't matter actually. Whichever version of SQL Server, all the SQL queries and all the concepts remain same. There is no much difference as such. Okay.
Okay, okay.
So any version whichever you have, you can just follow it along. No issues with that. Okay.
Sure, sir.
And basically, yeah, database. When I call database, what exactly is a database? So database is a collection of tables put together in one place, correct? So a table,
Yes.
of course, is a group of rows and columns put together, and a group of
Yes.
tables put together is called a database. Okay. So
Okay.
the very basic database which we all know as of now is Excel, correct? So Excel is one of the simplest databases available in the market, where you can
Yes.
simply dump the data and do some basic pivot tables and modifications, all that stuff. Okay, but
Yes.
Microsoft has come up with other concept called relational database, because in Excel what we do is we'll simply put the data in one sheet and another data in another sheet, another set of data in another sheet. But previously there used to be, I mean, now Excel 2016 and all has advanced features of relational things and all. But
Okay.
previously Excel may it is all about entering the data in separate sheets and
Mm.
doing some VLOOKUPs and all that stuff. That's it. We
Yeah.
don't uh, probably establish a basic connection between two tables and all that is not happening in Excel. Okay,
Yes. Correct.
that is why Excel
We
has come up
just
with multiple. Yeah,
yeah.
any doubt?
No, no.
Okay, okay, fine. So what I was trying to say, uh, apart from Microsoft Excel, we have other database tools like Microsoft Access and Microsoft SQL Server, right? So those are also
Yes.
databases, actual databases, in fact, where you
Mm.
can create multiple tables and establish connection between multiple tables and try to retrieve the data based on the relationship which is being established. Okay,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
and that's what SQL Server is all about. That's what we are going to see. What is
Mm-hmm.
SQL Server? How exactly we import or create tables, create databases, how to establish relationships. Okay, so
Okay.
all that
Mm.
things we'll see. So one of the databases available in the market,
Mm-hmm.
provided by Microsoft, is SQL Server. Apart
Mm.
from SQL Server, we have other databases also. We
Mm-hmm.
have Access database. We have Oracle database. We have MySQL database. So like that, we have many other databases available in the market,
Mm.
which will provide you the same features provided by Microsoft SQL Server, right?
Okay.
If you want to basically understand, it's like
Mm.
uh, chocolates, right? It's
Yes.
basically chocolate only, but Five
Mm.
Star will give you a chocolate, Dairy Milk will give you one chocolate, Perk
Yes.
is a chocolate. So
Mm.
same chocolate only, but different brands or different vendors
Taste,
providing you the same chocolate with a different, probably
taste,
a bit of
different
taste is
quality.
different or a bit of variance will be there. But basically, it is
Yes.
choco, right? So on the same
Yeah.
lines, if you just compare it with a database is
Mm.
the same. Database concepts, relational database concepts are same,
Mm.
but different vendors provide different databases,
Mm.
and probably a bit of variance will be there here and there, but the core concept is same, correct? So the database concept. Okay, so we will handle this training using a tool called Microsoft SQL Server. SQL
Okay.
Server, it's relatively easier, comparatively easier. All the Microsoft products, I feel personally, are
Mm.
very user friendly compared
Yeah.
to other tools.
Mm.
These are very user friendly. You can either do it through UI, that is just right click here and there and create tables, and
Uh-huh.
then drag and drop here and there and do all that. That is also
Okay.
possible.
Yeah.
Or you can write code to establish relationships, is to create tables and all that things. You can do
Okay.
using your code as well. So
Okay.
that's a basic introduction of what is database and what
Okay.
exactly it. We'll see in detail how to create tables, how to create databases, how to
Mm.
establish relationships, what are the queries available. There are queries like DDL commands, DML commands, and there's something called store procedures. All those we'll see one by one. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Can I make a note?
Sure, sure. I mean, anyways, I will send you this PPT.
Okay. Okay. That
Okay,
contain the
and
same information.
I have some notes I prepared for my personal use. I can share that
Okay.
notes as well. Parallelly, if you want to make a note, you can always do that. No issues.
Okay.
All right. So that's the basic introduction, whatever I spoke about. That's the basic all about. Each time you select a name from your email address book, you are using a database. If you conduct a search on internet, any site, you are using a database. Okay. When you log into your network using your credentials, or when you will be logging into servers and all that, right? You'll use your username, password, and that will be validated via database. Even when you are using
Is it?
ATM cards in a machine, you are using database for your PIN verification and balance checking. So
Okay.
every real time, any application you take, there will
Okay.
be somewhere a database will be sitting there at the back end. Okay.
Okay.
Now
Okay.
let's say I'm booking a ticket in IRCTC, right?
Okay.
So what I will do, I will go and enter some from station to station, and I give some date and press
Okay.
search button, and then your results will automatically get displayed. But what is happening there? There will be something called front end and back end. There are
Oh,
two things
okay.
available. Front end is your web application. Okay.
Okay.
Back end is called your database. Your database contains all the information of all the trains from all the sources to all the destinations. So
Okay.
entire set of data will be stored in that database. And based on whatever search criteria you are looking for, your query will go and hit the database, and database will retrieve the data accordingly. That's what practically happens, but it just happens within a split second because of the uh, relational database concepts. Okay, so previously when I talk about early stages of internet, okay,
Okay.
so it used to be very slow. When you try importing some data from a web application or something, it used to take a lot of time because
Yes. Yes.
it
Correct.
is not very efficient database not being constructed as such. And
Okay.
all the relational database concepts currently in use are not there in previous versions of your things. That's why data used to be very slow. Now all the optimizations, everything will be there to retrieve the data accordingly in a very easier manner as such. For that, we
Okay.
have some different concepts as such. We'll see what are the concepts and how things happens. Okay, so that's
Sure.
basically about. Even when let's say you're booking something in Amazon or Flipkart, all the e-commerce websites, what
Yes.
happens is you will go and enter some set of data. Let's say
Okay.
some Samsung Galaxy mobiles. Okay.
Okay.
Now that search will go and search within the database available at the back end. From that database, your data will be retrieved using that query, whatever you are passing through, say Samsung mobiles, and your database, all mobiles, everything will be there. Out of that entire data, only that Samsung mobiles data will be extracted, and your data will be populated in your web application, your screen. So there also you are interacting with a database. So any practical applications, as you see here, there are all the points noted down here. Any action you perform, there will be a database at the backend sitting where you will probably do a verification or retrieve the data from. Okay,
Okay.
so all the see, even if you're in a work environment, the very first thing what we do is we'll go and enter our username password. Correct. So what
Yes.
happens when you use a email ID and password? Immediately it will go and search in the database whether your name exists in the database or not. If at
Okay.
all it is existing, then only it will go and validate the password. And if that
Yes.
is matching it, then only your database will allow you to log in into your system. Otherwise,
Yes.
you will not be able to. As
Okay.
soon
Even
as
for
you
that also, database will act in this.
definitely, definitely see
Oh.
your user ID will be there now. See,
Yes.
let's say you resign your company. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. One day you resigned your company and you come back. Okay. Let's for some final settlement things you came back to your office. Let's say you
Okay.
came to your system and you type your username password. It will not be. You will not be able to log in. Correct.
It does not exist.
It does not exist because there is a validation happening that user ID with the database. Every time when you log in, there must be a validation there. If at all, if that email ID present in the organization's database, then only you will be able to log in. Otherwise, you will not be able to log in. Okay, so
Mm.
definitely there will be a validation happening at the network level. Okay, so whenever you use
Validation.
your username password at the backend in the admin user admin will be there, right? For
Yeah.
your IT department will be there. They will have a
Yes.
database where all the login IDs for all the employees will be added to that domain. Okay,
Okay.
whenever that login ID is being removed from the database domain, then
Mm.
obviously when you try logging in,
Mm.
you'll not be able to log in because they have
Yes.
removed your user ID, something like that. Okay,
Correct.
so
Mm.
everywhere there will be a validation happening, and based on that only, your results will appear as such. A login, you're trying to log in, that is also a result because
Mm.
it is validating it. Once it
Mm.
validates, it returns a true, then only you'll be able to log, something like that. Okay,
It
that's
matches. If this what we enter, if this is matches with the server availability, so only
Mhm.
then it will allow us to
Correct,
do it.
correct, exactly, exactly. Whatever user ID you specify, if it is present in the domain in a specific database, okay, then
Mm.
in the administration database, they will have a domain. In that domain, if your user ID is added, then only it will allow you to enter first of all. Okay, that's where
Okay.
security comes into picture now.
Yes.
Yes, so there will be a validation there only. So that's about that's what is database is all about.
Okay.
Okay. Now, now let's see what exactly the database is. Database is a collection of data stored in some organized fashion. Okay, that's the actual difference between an Excel data and your database data. In Excel, most
Mm.
probably it will not be organized in a proper way. Entire set of data will be dumped together, and it has some let's say 15, 20 columns of data and some 20,000, 30,000 sets of data put together
Correct.
entirely in one sheet. Okay,
Mm.
so it is
Mm.
unorganized data we call it as, or unnormalized data we call it as. Okay,
When
as
we
far as
enter it, sorry for interrupting. When we enter it, we will organize it. We have to organize manually.
we have to organize it manually, correct.
Mm.
Same
Then
way, we
calculate.
organize it in databases also.
Okay.
As a one activity, one time activity, we will
Mm.
organize data in a specific way, and we
Mm.
create relationships in databases.
Okay.
That
Okay.
relationship concept is not there in the Excel. We can
Okay.
organize in Excel also, but we will
Okay.
not be able to separate the tables and establish relationships. I was only talking about Excel previous versions. Okay, current
Mm.
versions of Excel have all those facilities, so don't get
Okay.
confused with that. Excel
Okay.
2013 and 16 has all the relational database concepts. We have something
Okay.
called Power Query and all that. So
Yes. Yes.
even Excel has upgraded Excel for the higher end. So I can't actually compare it with Excel, but just for comparison, I'm just telling it that. Okay.
Okay. Mm.
So that's what it is. So if at all, if you want to organize your data in a specific way and try to establish a relationship between those tables
Mm.
and try to connect it and extract some data out of it, then we can go for a database. We often use the term database to refer
Mm.
to the database software, okay, which
Okay.
they are running, but this is incorrect.
Mm.
But actually database is a source. Okay,
Okay.
we are learning SQL Server, no? SQL Server 2014, whatever we are going to learn, that is not a database. Okay, that's
Okay.
actually the confusing part. That is actually not the database. It's just a platform. It's just a platform through which
Platform.
you will access the database, right? But that is
Platform.
not the database actually. Database is something different. But database may whatever data is there, you will have to access that, na? So to access that particular data, we'll use a platform. That platform is called or a software which is used to access the data present in the database it is called a database software or our SQL server in this case. Okay, so that's the second point. People often use the term database to refer to the database software, but database software is different, database is different. Okay, so you can
Okay.
always imagine what, that's why I given an example of IRCTC. Okay, IRCTC is a platform where you can access the database. Database is located somewhere, but we will use that IRCTC web application as
Okay.
a intermediate level or as a platform to access the data present in the IRCTC database. Same is applicable for the Amazon database website or Flipkart website. You will only
Ah,
use that platform to display the data, but that is not the actual database, right? Here
okay.
also, SQL Server is used to establish relationship between the databases and display the data, but SQL Server is not the actual database.
Okay.
It is only a database management system, we call it as DBMS.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so remember this word, we call it as DBMS or RDBMS. You can make a note of it. DBMS stands for database management system. Okay,
One second.
DB stands for database, M stands for management, system, S stands for system, or we also called it as relational database management system, because anyways we are going to establish relationships between multiple tables. So it is RDBMS
Okay.
or DBMS. Simply we call it as DBMS.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. So the database is the container created and manipulated via this database management system. Correct. So whatever
Yes.
database data will be there. If you want to add data into that, if you want to delete data from that, if you want to establish a relationship between two tables, all that will be performed using the platform called DBMS, that is database management system. That's what
Okay.
they
It is like macro. Okay, and that
Hmm.
is written by VBA. VBA is a platform where we write the macros like that, right?
You can actually imagine like that. Yeah. So
Okay.
VBA, what you're doing, we are writing the code to
Hmm.
extract the data present in Excel. No, so you
Yes.
can imagine Excel as a database, VBA as
Hmm.
a platform, which
Okay.
is like database management system. You can call it as. By writing
Yes.
the code there, you are actually modifying the data in Excel. Correct. You can link it that way.
Okay.
Okay. So here also we write some SQL queries or we write some multiple stored procedures, all that to manipulate data present in the database. Yeah, as you rightly said, Excel is considered as a database and VBA is considered as a platform to manipulate
Platform
data
to
in Excel.
write macro programs.
Yeah, VBA is nothing but macros. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So on top of a platform called VBA, we write macros.
Yes.
Okay, it's like that. So here
Okay.
also SQL SQL, we call it as SQL, no?
Yeah.
Structured query language, we call it as structured query language. So that is
Okay.
the language. Macro is the language, no? VB scripting is a language we use
Yeah.
to write it in VBA. Same
Yes.
way, SQL, structured query language, is a programming language.
One
We start
second.
writing inside DBMS to access data within the database.
Can you please come
Right?
again? Can you please come again? This one line
Yeah,
only.
yeah,
That
yeah.
structured query.
SQL is the core structured query language.
Okay.
SQL.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
SQL is the language.
It
Okay.
is a
The
language.
programming language.
Hmm.
Yeah, is a language which is
Hmm.
used. Okay. To write the programs or to write the SQL queries into the DBMS, which is called SQL Server, to
Use
interact data with database.
one second. This is used. This language is
I'll come to that
used
slide.
to write.
When I come to that slide, I'll show you.
Okay.
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 So, there is another slide for SQL. I'll show you that. Anyways.
Okay.
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 So that's what it is.
Programming
We never
language. This
access a data.
programming. Hello.
That yeah, SQL is a programming language here. You
Yes.
understand, right?
Yeah.
SQL
Yeah.
is a
Understand.
language. See,
Hmm.
I'll just compare with Excel.
Hmm.
Excel may VBA is a interface. Interface is nothing but a
Yes.
platform. Okay, so VBA
Yes.
is a platform, and we write the code using a scripting language called VB scripting.
Yes.
Okay, So you write the macro using a programming language called VB scripting. Where you write that? You write it in a VBA. VBA is a platform, Visual Basic for Application. The platform.
Yeah.
For doing what? To do manipulations in the Excel database, correct?
Yes.
On the same lines, we have three things here: SQL, DBMS, and database. Okay. So SQL is the programming language which we write inside the database management system called SQL Server to manipulate the data present in the database.
Okay.
Clear now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clear.
That's what we do.
Thanks.
Right. And so the last line says we never access a database directly. Okay, we always use the DBMS and it acts as the database for you. That's what we discussed till now. We don't directly go and hit the database. We write the programs in SQL Server, and SQL Server in turn will go and interact with the database to extract data from it. Clear?
Correct.
Any doubts in the slide?
No.
Okay. So we'll move on to the next.
Yes.
Right. So how to store data inside a database? Okay. Now manually, before all the computers, all the laptops came, really what we used to do, if you have different sets of data, we used to manage files, correct? So red file is for some data, green file is for some data, blue file is for some data. We used to arrange things like that. Even now, let's say, I mean, my father will do the same thing. So he will have different files for different sections. For bank things, he'll maintain one file. For all the property related things, he'll have one file. All the personal monthly expenses related things, he'll have a separate file. So he'll have different files for different sets of data. Okay. So previously, manually, all these things have to be happening in a different files. That's what it says. Storing data in database is like storing files in a drawer. So what we used to do, we used to maintain different files and keep it inside a drawer or keep it inside a cabinet. Okay. And whenever we want a specific set of data, we go and pick up that particular file. Let's say I want the property related document. I go and pick up my red file where my property related information is there. Okay, if I have my monthly purchase related items data is there, let's say it's in blue file, I'll go pick up that blue file. Okay, so we do it manually, right? On the same lines, on the similar lines, your database also will manage your database in such a way that will arrange the data in different tables. Okay, now let's say I have employee data. Employee data will be stored in employee table. Department related information, department table. Product related information, product table. Orders related information, orders table. Like that, each and every information will be properly stored in each and every table such that retrieving the data is pretty easy. Okay, again, imagine manually. If you have all your data in one file, imagine how difficult it is to retrieve the data. You'll have to go through each and every page to check what is there where. Okay, if everything is kept in one file, it is all data. That is why database has this concept of decentralization, we call it as. That is arranging the data in different tables or even different databases such that, okay, that is what happens. Again, if you go to, let's say, Amazon website, okay, what you type, there will be multiple segments of data. Okay, so you can order home related things, you can order accessories, you can order bags or even student kits related things. All sections of data will be there. Kitchen related things will be there, or anything, any segment you take, there will be some information available in Amazon. So how they will actually manage this huge data is they will have different tables for different information. Let's say for mobiles, they'll have a database called mobiles. Okay. So inside that, there will be different tables called Samsung, Xiaomi, Nokia, Apple, etc., OnePlus, or whatever it is. So each and every mobile mobile brand, they will have a table. Okay, again inside Samsung, they will have different sets of
Model.
records. For Samsung Galaxy, one set of records. For Samsung, other set of mobiles. For basic range, there will be some set of mobiles. Like this,
Yeah.
they will segregate. Okay. Now, when I simply type, let's say Apple iPhone. Okay. Now, instead of hitting on one entire database, what it will happen? It will go and hit only that particular table where your Apple iPhone models are there. So you can imagine, right, how easily things can be retrieved. So that is what the entire concept of relational database management system is all about. You have to segregate your data in such a way that it will be easy for you to retrieve the data whenever you want to retrieve. Okay, so that's what storing data is all about. So of course it's tedious. It's a bit tedious to create tables initially, create multiple tables, establish relationships. All that is bit tedious at the beginning. But once you start establish a relationship between the tables, it's pretty easy for you to
Retrieve and
extract data
analyze.
from there. Yeah, analyze data or extract data will become very easy. That is what it says. So first point is storing data in a database is like storing files in a drawer. We create files within the filing cabinet, and then you'll file related data in specific files. Okay. Same way in database also we use tables to store data just like our files. Okay. As I mentioned, red color file, green color file, blue color file. Same way
Understood.
we have different tables for different segments of data, sections of data, right?
Okay.
So one for that is to retrieve the data in a very easy manner. That's what it is.
Okay.
Right. So the third point says a
Shall I make a
table
note of
is
that,
a
or
structure.
it's okay?
Yeah, tell me.
Shall I make a note of that?
Yeah, sure. You can.
Okay.
Okay, you can make a note. I'll just wait.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Done.
Done?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So coming back to the last line, it says a table is a structured file that can store data of a specific type. Okay, a table might contain a list of customers, a product catalog, or orders information, department information, employee information, any set of information. So one set of related information will be put in one table such that you can easily extract the data. So that's what storing data is all about. How exactly we store data? Based on a related set of information. So all the employee information will be stored in one set of data. All the product related information will be in one set of data, etc.
Okay. Okay.
We'll practically see that how exactly we'll do that and all that stuff. Okay. But just for theoretical information, we'll just understand. But the basic understanding is very important. How exactly we will store the data and how exactly we'll retrieve the data. All that we need to just understand it first, and based on the understanding, we'll try to create the tables accordingly.
Okay.
Fine then. So that's about storing the data.
Okay. 1 second. I will make a note. One table. We set off one set of information we store in one table, so which will help us to retrieve the data. Okay.
Done?
Yeah. Done.
Okay. Fine. So let's move on to the next slide, which says schemas. Okay. So this is the concept which is explicitly defined for your database related structures. What are schemas? Okay. So let's see. A schema is a collection of database objects associated with one particular database username This username is called a schema owner or the owner of the related group of objects. Okay. So
Okay.
when I say database object, okay, so a database object can be a table. Okay. So
Okay.
when you create multiple tables, no, each
Hmm.
and every table is considered as a database object.
Okay.
Okay. So
Hmm.
database object. Going forward, apart from tables, we'll
Hmm.
also see something called views. We also see something called indexes, etc., store procedures, etc., etc. All those
Okay.
are also considered as a database objects. But
Okay.
basically, at this particular point of time, just
Okay.
we discussed about tables. No, in a
Yeah.
database we have multiple tables. So
Hmm.
whenever I use a terminology called database object, it is equivalent to table, a
Okay.
table in a database. Okay,
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
a table is a collection of database objects, that is database tables associated with one particular database username. Okay, now when schemas come into picture is, let's say I'm an administrator. Okay, database administrators who is
Sir, your voice
managing
is
the
breaking.
entire set of.
Hello.
Now it's fine.
It is in between. While
Hello.
talking, it is breaking.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a fan on?
Fan is going on, but without fan it's difficult.
Or is it?
Now it's okay. I mean, I'm anyways very near to the speaker. I think now it would be fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Hmm. Continue.
Yeah. So yeah. So I was just talking about the schema. Schema is nothing but a set of or collection of database tables or database objects
Objects.
associated with one particular database username. Okay.
Hmm.
So when I say database username,
Hmm.
especially when you are an administrator, what administrators will do is
Hmm.
they will create a schema. Okay, a schema is nothing but uh, let's say I'm the owner of the database. Okay,
Hmm.
so I
Hmm.
will give access to a
Hmm.
specific user to
Hmm.
access that set of tables or
Hmm.
that set of databases or whatever it is. Okay,
Okay.
so
Hmm.
I will have the full ownership for that particular set of tables. I can delete them, I can move them, or I can modify them, I can delete
Okay.
tables inside that. All that I will be able to do. Okay,
Okay.
such
Hmm.
that I will have the complete control of those set of tables. That is
Hmm.
what a schema is all about.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
generally administrators will take care of that. Being a developers, we need not worry about schemas and all that. But just for
Okay.
basic information, you can
Hmm.
just remember that a schema is
Okay.
nothing but it's a owner name, or it's like
Okay.
a ownership where you will have control over some set of database objects. Okay, so you may, second line says, you may have
Hmm.
one or multiple schemas in a
Hmm.
database. Basically, any
Hmm.
user who creates an object has just created his own schema. Okay, now let's, I've created a table, I am the owner for that table, correct?
Yes.
Basically it is a normal simple logic. So whoever creates the table, they will have their own schema, or they are called as their own schema, and they'll have access for that particular table. Okay,
Okay.
but as an administrator, I can create multiple schemas, and I can create, or I can give access to those particular schemas as well. Okay,
Hmm.
now
Hmm.
that is what it is. Let's
Hmm.
say again, I can give an example of, let's say I have some employee data, I have
Hmm.
some salary information, I have some phone number, mobile information, all that will be there. Okay.
Okay.
Now, in a particular application, let's say you have this SAP applications and all that, right? So
Yes.
let's say if you log into your information, and if you are trying to see some other employee's information, you will have only some set of access to see.
Hmm.
You will not be able to see that employee's phone number, probably if they restrict it. Okay,
Yes.
or you will not be able to see the employee's salary, all that information. You will not you will have only some set of information which is accessible. Okay,
Yes.
that means you have access to only few databases or few tables inside the database. Other databases you will not have access. Okay,
Okay.
only administrators will have that access. So that means
Hmm.
administrator has not added you in that particular schema, something like that.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. So based on a user privileges within the database, user have control over the objects or tables that are created, manipulated, and deleted. Okay. Even when you start working in a SQL environment, you will have access to only few tables within the database. You will not have access to all the databases because there might be some sensitive data which everyone will not be able to access. So what they will do is they will not add you in that schema where the table is available. Okay. So whichever schema you are present, you will be able to access only that set of data. You will not be able to access other set of data. Okay.
Okay. Hmm.
A schema can consist of either single table or can be multiple tables. It can be any number of specified table based on the administrator. They can add one table for one schema, set of tables for one schema, or set of databases for one schema, anything based on their information security levels or based on their availability or whatever it is.
Okay.
So if this particular team requires the data, they will add you in that schema. Okay? They'll delete you from that schema. Something like that. Okay.
In case if I
Again,
write a
schemas
schema,
are like, yeah.
sorry for
See,
interrupting you.
you will not be able to create a schema as such. See,
Is it?
once you create, as an administrator, if you have access, of course, you can create your schemas. Okay. But whenever you create a table, you are the owner for that. That means you have the schema available for you.
Okay.
Simple like that. Okay. If you create
Schema
some
is
10
kind of
tables, you are the
access, right? It's kind of access. It's kind of
it's kind of
access.
correct. It's kind of an access. Okay. So basically, administrators will take care of that. It's kind of an access only. Basically, every table which you have, you are the schema owner for that.
Okay. Okay.
Basically, okay. So the tables which is created by other user, they are the schema owners.
Okay.
And you want access for that, you need to be added into that schema. That's what it is. Understood, no?
Understood. Understood.
Yes, yes. So last point says schemas are like folders within a database and are mainly used to group logical objects together, which leads to ease of setting permissions. As you said, it is permissions or access, giving access to that particular database or a particular table or a particular data object. That's what schema is all about. Okay. So basically, we don't create schemas as I mentioned. Only database administrators will take care of schemas and all that stuff. So just for information, we'll understand this. What is schema?
Okay.
Clear? Okay. So probably we'll stop it here for today.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll continue with the rest of the concepts. Meanwhile, just make a note of whatever concepts we discussed today. We'll continue with the other tables and all that come to me. Okay.